This is the PSA-1-A to the IUSD board, starting now. So for the PSA, I'm just going to be answering the question that was asked in the template of Lord's question about tyrannies on a day-to-day basis. So the IUSD board, there's obviously many issues that they have with trying to get students to learn certain things that they're trying to have in the curriculum, but there's also things outside of that. Take COVID, for example. When it hit hard. Most of the students, like me, would have excelled in a normal classroom without distance learning. However, with distance learning, we sort of we dropped very far below the standard. Sure, some thrived, as they always will. They'll always be the ones that peak in chaos. But there are also more than one, more than 100, more than 1,000 that'll always fall far below the standard because of the chaos. Due to this fact, a lot of people, though they don't want to admit it, myself included, have become sort of depressed in a way because of COVID. I know that had COVID not struck like this, and had I been in a normal classroom, my grades would be far from being below the average standard. They would be above average. The case is probably true for many others. So there's one problem, COVID, and how ISD dealt with it. The second problem is the education system. Like one of the article quotes I've seen recently, the education system essentially rewards the ones who try their hardest and hurts the ones that don't try as hard as they could. Now, this is a dangerous thing because if this is really true, then the people who get A's and stuff, they'll always have everything in school. And the people that are trying their hardest but get B's and C's and D's, they'll get it. They'll fall way below the belt, way below the line that's average and standard because that they're trying their best, but they're being discouraged to try harder. That's the second chaotic thing that's going on with IUSD. The third thing is I don't do social media, but I've been noticing through social media that IUSD has been somewhat suppressing comments that go against what IUSD thinks is okay. What I'm trying to say is one of my friends recently told me that they were trying to say something about IUSD's education system being wrong, and the next day later, IUSD had contacted the social media platform and had them take down the posts. Now, I don't know whether there's been other accounts like this. There probably has, but I know for a fact IUSD does have the power just to suppress, but not to tell others that their opinions don't matter. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing is the final thing that I've deemed the most bad about it. The IUSD board, other than the superintendent, Terry Walker, of course, he seems to be the only one that actually cares about the education system in the way that IUSD should. The IUSD board doesn't listen to anything us students have to say about it, anything that we want to happen. They only listen to the teachers and the staff. They don't consider how we're feeling. If the staff and the teachers say, oh, we're feeling great during COVID, they'll think the rest of the school is doing great. This goes back to the first problem of COVID. And if we feel bad about it and we try to speak out against it, we have to get put in detention, suspended, or expelled for saying such things. Now, this type of suppression of information and such, that's the basic definition of tyranny. I don't know why IUSD chooses to do this. I can only guess and imagine. But IUSD can at least, if they can just cut us some slack, because we are just desperately trying to keep up here, then it would help us greatly. Lastly, I want to say I saw a political cartoon about education system tyrannies. The political cartoon basically depicts that the school and the school board has all the power, and us students are below them trying to hold them up, but we are slowly but surely crumbling to the ground. And when one of them crumbles and falls down, they're instantly attacked and brutally beaten until they get back under the pedestal to hold the school and the school board up. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy school. I enjoy the rules. I think they're very fair. However, what the school board does outside of the rules, that's what I don't think is fair. I think they should personally leave social media alone because though yes, they have the power to suppress people, they shouldn't be suppressing them left, right, and center. Even the people that say good things about the school, they get suppressed. But yeah, if they just actually realized how COVID is affecting not just the teachers and staff, but everybody, it'd be a lot easier to work with them. All right, that's it.